Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is O25 HW1, completing the ordered pair. So, we have this problem here of x comma minus 7 and negative 2 comma negative 4, and our slope is negative 1/3. Our goal is to find out what is the value of x in our slope formula. And we're going to solve for x. So what we got to do, we look here on the left hand side, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is our slope. That's our slope formula. So we first identify, well, what is our x1, y1, x2, y2? Well, our x1 is always the first value in our first coordinate. Our second value in the first coordinate is our y1. And the first value of the second coordinate is x2. And the second value in the second coordinate is our y2, which in this case is negative 4. And it equals our slope. Well, our slope is negative 1/3. Now, anytime there's a negative, I recommend just putting it right on the top, just to make life easy. So, what we do, we take our slope formula, we plug in what we have, which is y2 minus y1. So my y2 in this example is negative 4, so I put a negative 4 in, minus my y1, which is negative 7. So we have negative 4 minus a negative 7. Then our x2 is negative 2, so I put it in a negative 2. Minus our x1. Well, our x1 is just x, so we leave that as an x. And equals negative 1/3. So I move that negative from the front to the top, just to make things life nice and easy. Next thing we do, we combine our like terms. Negative 4 minus a minus 7 is really just plus 7. So we have then negative 2 minus x on the bottom, and everything else stays the same. Next thing we're going to do is cross multiply. The 3 times this bottom 3, those two are always going to be multiplied with each other. And vice versa, the negative 1 is going to be multiplied to everything here, negative 2 minus x. So 3 times 3 gets us this 9 on this side of the equal sign, and it's equal to, well, negative 1, right there is really a negative 1, times negative 2.
Yeah, just a reminder.
So negative 1 times negative 2 times negative x. So negative 1 times negative 2 gets you 2. Negative 1 times negative x gets you positive x. We then subtract 2 from both sides, and we get x equals 7. So that's how we solve for x. And we're going to take the same approach for all the other problems. So let's do 2 more together, and you'll finish off the rest of them. So problem number 2, we have x comma negative 2 and negative 7 comma 4. So x1, y1 is x comma negative 2. x2, y2 is negative 7 comma negative 4, and our slope is negative 1. We have our slope formula. We then plug them in. y2 is 4 minus our y1, which is negative 2 in this example, divided by x2, or our x2 is negative 7, minus our x1, which is just x. Slope is negative 1. Well, I just made that into a fraction, so it makes things a little bit easier for us. So negative 1 is the same thing as negative 1 over 1. We go over here, up right hand side, we take care of the signs issue of 4 minus a minus 2. Well, that's the same thing as 4 plus 2. And then everything else is the same. Well, 4 plus 2 is really 6, so we're going to write 6. Negative 7 minus x. We then cross multiply. Negative 1 times negative 7 minus x. And 6 times 1 is 6. We then distribute that negative 1 to negative 7 and negative x. Negative 1 times negative 7 is 7. Negative 1 times negative x gets you positive x. You then subtract 7 from both sides, and you get x equals negative 1. And that's your answer for number 2. Let's do number 3. Our two coordinates are x comma 7, and the other coordinate is 8 comma negative 4. And our slope is negative 11 over 10. Now, we have our formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals our slope. We then substitute things in. y2 is negative 4. y1 is 7. So negative 4 minus 7 divided by x2, which is 8, minus x down here below. And our slope is negative 11 over 10. We then simplify things down. Negative 4 minus 7 is really negative 11. 8 minus x. Everything's all set up nice and pretty, so now we're going to cross multiply. Negative 11 times 10 is equal to negative 11 times 8 minus x. Negative 11 times 10 gets you negative 110. Negative 11 times 8 minus x is negative 88 plus 11x. We then add 88 to both sides. So we get negative 22 equals 11x. We divide by 11 to both sides, and we get x equals negative 2. And that's our answer for number 3. It's your job to do problems 4 through 10. And make sure you hit the submit button below on this Google form. If you have any questions, feel free to ask during class or come to Extra Help. I'll be happy to help you out. Have a good night.